Hi, welcome to Bobby Cinema. This is my 61st week live on my webcast on March 16th, 2012. We're introducing new movies out this week. Don't forget to log into my website. The first movie out this week is 21 Jump Street, starring Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum. This movie is directed by Phil Lords and Chris Miller, produced by Neil H. Moritz, and produced by Columbia Pictures. I took this film. I recommend people watch this movie in theaters. Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum in a extraordinary performance of the remake 80s TV series 21 Jump Street. I grade this movie a B+. The next movie out this week is Jeff Who Lives at Home. This movie is directed by Jay and Mark Duplass, produced by Jason Reitman, and distributed by Paramount Vantage. I took this film. I don't recommend people watch this movie in theaters. They should get better writers and better actors for this film. I grade this movie a C-. That's all the movies out this week on DVD. The first movie out this week on DVD is The Descendants, starring George Clooney and Shailene Woodley. This movie is written, directed, and produced by Alexander Payne, and distributed by Searchlight Pictures. I took this film. I recommend people watch this movie on DVD. This movie is Alexander's best work in this movie, and I give George Clooney credit for best acting in this movie. I grade this movie a B+. The next movie out this week on DVD is The Adventures of Tintin, starring Jamie Bell. This movie is directed by Steven Spielberg, produced by Peter Jackson, and produced by Paramount Pictures. I took this film. I recommend people watch this movie in theaters on DVD. Jamie Bell made a certain performance in this movie. I give Steven Spielberg credit for this movie. He did a great job for directing this movie. I grade this movie an E-. The next movie out this week on DVD is My Week with Marilyn, starring Michelle Williams. This movie is directed by Simon Curtis, produced by David Parfit, and produced by the Weinstein Company. I took this film. I recommend people watch this movie on DVD. Michelle Williams made an extreme performance in this movie. My hat's off to her. I grade this movie a B. The next movie out this week on DVD is Young Adults, starring Charlize Theron and Patton Oswalt. This movie is directed by Jason Reitman and written and produced by Diablo Cody and produced by Paramount Pictures. I took this film. I recommend people watch this movie on DVD. Charlize Theron and Patton Oswalt made an extreme performance in this movie. My hat's off to them. I grade this movie a B+.
Ready?
Ready. The next movie out this week is Three Musketeers, starring Logan Lerman. This movie is directed and produced by Paul W.S. Anderson, produced by Summit Entertainment. I took this film. I recommend people watch this movie in theater on DVD. My hat's off to them. I grade this movie a B+. That's all the movies out this week. Come back next week where I introduce the new movies and DVDs out this week. Don't forget to log into my website where you can watch the movie trailers, play my movie trivia, and my puzzle. This is BC. See you next week and get out.